Welcome to Market Street Radio.
Welcome to this episode of Market Street Radio. Today I have the pleasure of being here with Noah Heft from Heft Leather and Saddlery. Oh, Noah, thanks for being here and doing a podcast with us. Yeah. I appreciate it. So tell us about what you do.
Yeah, so I do handmade leatherwork and as well as saddle repair outside of this location here. I'm very, very inspired by cowboys in the American West. Mm-hmm. I've been riding horses all my life. That is kind of my first love. And this has kind of grown out of that and really become a huge passion of mine.
Now, you own a horse?
Not yet.
Okay.
That's what I always tell people.
You just borrow?
It's someday.
You're borrowing.
I get paid to ride horses.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you do a lot with, you're also into what, Renaissance fairs? And
yeah, that also came out of horses. So the way I tell people I got started doing leatherwork is I found a YouTube video, which is true. That's the short version of it. The longer version of it is I'm a nerd. I've always loved like Lord of the Rings and everything. Mm-hmm. And I had made a couple of swords, wooden swords for friends. And I never considered myself a woodworker, but I was just kind of into like making cool things. Okay. And so that's when I stumbled across the YouTube video of making a pair of leather bracers, mm-hmm. Which is forearm armor. And I was like, that looks cool. And it goes along with my Ren Fairy type of like, nerdy vibes.
I saw some pictures of you on Facebook with you where you're all in your
which
I will share on this video.
Nowadays I work at the Renaissance Fair. I work for the Silver Knights Productions joust team. Okay. So I am both a cowboy and a knight. And
so you actually do jousting?
Yes.
With like a real steel pole and...
it's wood, but yeah.
But you don't get to stab anybody though. It's like just for...
Yeah, I don't get to stab anybody.
That's not fun. So
I get these little fake blood packets and I get to spit it at people that
So it's very similar to like what they do like at Fort Ticonderoga where they reenact the Civil War, right? It's
yeah, similar to that. Or if you've ever heard of the dinner show Medieval Times.
Yeah.
My boss actually worked at Medieval Times.
Yeah, they're not around anymore, I don't think.
Yes, they are.
Are they?
Oh,
really?
yeah.
I went to that when I was younger,
Yeah, they're still around.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, that's my other hat that I wear, the helmet I wear.
So you, when you do that, do you do that by yourself, or is your family involved in?
That one is just me. Yeah. Okay. I kind of branched out on my own there with
gotcha.
That one. But
so going back to the horseback riding and stuff, so you do, one of your specialties is custom saddles. Correct?
Custom saddles.
And saddle repair.
And saddle repair. I'm the only person in Connecticut that does Western saddle repair.
Really?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Holy cow.
And I'm the only one of like 3 in New England and also the only one in Connecticut that does custom saddles.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the quality of your work is amazing.
Thank you.
And the other thing that's important is you are how old?
19.
Yeah. So that like blows people away when I talk about you and I tell them that, because they look at the work and they're like, oh, he must have been doing this all his life. I'm like, yeah, but that's not a lot of time. Like he's just really, really good at it.
Yeah. And I got, after seeing that YouTube video, I got a kit for Christmas. And then that was in 2021. So COVID was still kind of ending. So the person who gave me the gift, my grandfather, he had COVID and I didn't see him until New Year's Eve. So I always remember I saw him like New Year's Eve morning, mm-hmm. and then New Year's Eve night, I actually like did leather work for the first time.
Holy cow.
So that was in New Year's Eve 2021.
Yeah.
I've been rolling ever since. I brought, this is cool. This is the first thing I ever made.
Oh, wow.
So like I said, I was into like swords and stuff. So mm-hmm. this was going to be what's called a sword frog. So it would sit here and there'd be another piece that you slide the sword into. Okay. Never got that far on this piece because I was still learning. But so that's
and that's stamped.
Yes.
So you actually had a stamp that looks like that, and you
not quite. So this is called leather tooling. Most of what's in here is tooled. Okay. The way it works is I lay out a stencil, or I can draw straight on the leather, either or. Yep. And I take what's called a swivel knife, which is like a knife in like a barrel with a cradle on top that swivels. And so I trace that design and cut it in. And then I have a whole bunch of different stamps. They're all roughly the size of a pencil. Okay. They're stainless steel, and each one gives a different impression. So some of them you hit it just once, and it's done, whether that might be like a flower center or something. And then other ones, like the main one is the beveler, I run all the way around my knife marks to leave that impression, and it adds all that depth into the leather. So it's not, I don't lay it down,
not like
hit it
thing,
once and done. This takes
so that's a long time right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is another piece I did. I did draw this pattern myself.
Now that's more sculpted, right?
Right.
You're removing.
No, actually, this is all stamping. There are some other tools in here that will kind of come underneath and lift up the leather.
Gotcha.
But I'm not actually removing any
Oh,
material.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So leather, this type of leather is called veg tan leather. It's a lot like clay in the fact where once you get it wet, it's very impressionable.
Oh, okay.
So I get it nice and wet, and then I do all of the tooling on it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it takes a lot of time.
You do some work too to change the color of the areas that you...
Yeah, so that is all done through dye. I have dye on my fingers right now. That is one of the messier parts of what I do. The leather comes in that color that I just showed you.
Okay.
That's just natural. That's the natural
Natural
color.
leather, yeah.
And then I dye it and seal it, or I could paint it too, depending. And then there's also two main types of leather. So that what the tooling's done on is called veg tan leather, which comes in that color. There's also, do I have any? I got some behind you on these bags here. This softer leather here is a chrome tan. So the veg tan leather veg is short for vegetable, and that is all natural. It's made out of usually oak bark, which has a lot of tannins in it. This is I don't want to say it's chemicals because it is and but it's not super harsh. It's chromium salts that are used for this, and this usually comes pre-dyed. So some of it, like this in here, this was kind of a wipe on, wipe off antique dye job.
So the darker stays lower.
Right. Okay. And then this purple here came pre-dyed.
And you do all the stitching and
all the stitching.
So is that hand stitch or is that what?
This is machine stitch. Some of what's in here is hand stitched. Some of it is machine sewn. The hand stitching is a little bit higher quality, but I have a nice industrial sewing machine so it doesn't make a huge difference. And I couldn't sell if all of this stuff was hand stitched. It would just take too long. But,
so what other type, like when somebody comes here, like what's the array of products that you would have?
Oh, I do all kinds of stuff. There's the kind of obvious firsts: belts, wallets, bags, purses, and then there's other little things, keychains and all of that. I do gun holsters as well, and then my favorite thing, which isn't a huge seller, but my favorite thing to do is horse tags, so saddles, bridles, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I know you just did Rob's placemats.
Yes, I did.
Those came out amazing.
Yeah, I did a set of 8 leather placemats.
Yeah.
Those were fun. That was a lot of work, though.
Yeah, they came out really nice.
Yeah,
they were
I was
really
proud
happy.
of those.
Yeah,
proud of those.
You should be.
Yeah. Thank
you. Yeah, I mean we're super excited to have you here.
Thank
you. I love when you walk by. It's the smell. The leather smell is
I
cool.
hear that from everybody.
A lot of people say that.
It's kind of my biggest advertisement. It's just my product smells really nice.
Draws you in.
Yeah, it draws you in.
It really does.
Yeah.
And you do so custom work that you do. Like, how does that work?
Like placemats is not something I ever would have thought of to be made out of leather, but somebody wanted it. It's possible, so I do it. And there's something for everybody in leather. Whatever job you do, whatever hobby you have, leather is such a versatile, material that I could probably make you something that you can use or enjoy with whatever else it is you want to do in your life.
Have you ever done tool belts?
Yes, I wear a tool belt every day for my leather tools. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
All right. I guess there's not a lot of people that do leather work.
Not at all.
Not in this area.
Not
I guess maybe like in Texas you might find more.
Oh yeah.
But in New England probably not. So one of the questions I was going to ask is like, what makes your stuff unique? But I guess it's just everything
this
you do
is unique. Yeah,
the whole thing is
I would
unique.
say that the tooling, there's not a lot of leather workers around here. I would say I'm probably the dominant leather worker in the state at this point. The other thing too is that this kind of tooling, especially, that is not really a thing people even know about in this area. So I'm introducing it.
That's cool.
But this is called Western Floral, and there's a couple different styles within that. But that's my happy place. I love to do that tooling. So that's kind of what makes me stand out.
You must really zone out when you're doing that too. Like you put a pair of headphones on and just kind of it's got to be pretty therapeutic.
It's nice until your hands cramp up. But
I can imagine. Yeah. Where do you get like your inspiration for some of the things that you make? Like what inspires you? Because you're obviously in Connecticut. You're not from Texas or the South.
Cowboy culture or the Western lifestyle is growing massively. It's very in right now. So it's not as hard to find that kind of stuff as you might think. I also have been to Texas. My day job is I'm a horseback riding instructor, and I went out to Texas to get certified to do that.
Oh, cool.
So I can say I've not only dressed the part, but I lived the part too.
You lived the part. Yeah, that's awesome.
The leather working community, which is there's a huge, obviously out in Texas, out west. This kind of style is huge, and it's experiencing kind of a renaissance right now. So to look for inspiration and ideas and stuff isn't actually that hard if you know where to look. Okay. And that's the hard part is finding out where, and that's kind of why we need more leather workers in the world.
Earlier this year, my wife and I were driving back across the country, and we stopped in Tombstone, Arizona, because I love the movie, and I was I want to go see it, and so we stopped there, and we stayed overnight, and you walk down, and it's just like Tombstone in the movie. Like they kept it dirt roads, the old buildings, and there's there's a lot of reenactors that are reenacting scenes from from like Wyatt Earp and that whole thing, and it was really cool. And I thought about you. I'm like, I bet Noah would love it here, because there was so many shops that were selling.
Your wife sent me pictures.
Yeah, there were so many leather things, and it's. I don't know how much of it was actually handmade and how much of it was imported, but it was really a neat vibe, and I can kind of see where that would draw you in.
I bet you if you went back now, you would have a better idea of what's good.
Now I would look at I would definitely know after knowing you and seeing the work.
But my kind of goal, I get asked all the time, do you want to like move out west someday? I'd never say never, but I'm really happy where I am now, because there's way more competition out there with this kind of thing than here. And I have the opportunity to educate people on the Western lifestyle, which I'm super passionate about, educate people about the part of it I'm doing, which is the leather work. And I like to say I like to bring the West back with me. And kind of share that.
Now, on top of all that, on a personal level, you're also you're a karate instructor.
Yes.
And you're a black belt. Third degree black belt.
Yep.
And then, as I understand it, your entire family is.
Yes. Okay. So way back in the day when I was like 5, I guess it's not that far back. I'm only 19. But my parents were looking for an activity to put me in, an extracurricular that had good male role models, because she had 2 boys and a girl too, but 2 boys that were looking to do something. So she found, I'll totally shout them out, Valentin Karate. They have 5 Connecticut locations, or 5 locations total. One of which I am the chief instructor of now.
That's the one in Berlin, right?
That's the one in Bristol.
In Bristol.
Yeah,
okay.
So I work in the one in Berlin, and I work in the one in Bristol too.
Okay.
But so the rest was kind of history. I truly think, having looked at the martial arts world for 15 years now, that Valentin Karate is the best in the world in terms of the quality of the instruction and the way things are run. That kind of, I think that influences me a lot in terms of my business too, because my boss, he started Valentin Karate when he was 19. I'm 19.
Oh, wow.
So
true.
I actually sat down the other day and I listed out like all the things he does, whether it's like promotional or whatever, community events, stuff like that. And I was like, I need to come up with a version of that for myself and for my business. So yeah, the whole family does it now. We're all black belts. I am the top dog. I'm the highest rank.
Cool.
And yeah, it's a great time.
I've heard, I ran into some other people when we were down, because we went to Berlin kiosks when they opened.
Yep.
And we were talking about it. She's like, yeah, Noah teaches right over there, literally across the parking lot.
Yeah, I'm the security guard for the Berlin kiosks.
That's pretty funny. So yeah, you're also, that's the other shop you're in, right?
Yes, I'm in the Berlin kiosks as well.
Are you in anywhere else?
I have my own website and I do custom work.
All right, yeah. So
but in terms of physical places, just this.
And the Berlin kiosk is a cool place. Like if anybody listening to this, if you're down in the Berlin area, definitely go see it, because it's a really cool place.
Yeah.
They just opened,
they had
their
a grand opening September 6th.
Yeah.
So not even a month ago.
And I a lot of the vendors that are here are down there too. So it's we're doing all we can to support them. So right now, what would you say your best seller is, like overall?
My best seller, believe it or not, for Connecticut is gun holsters.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
At least in here, I've done probably more belts than gun holsters in the long run, but a lot of people want a custom belt. Connecticut's a concealed carry state, so I make these little. They're soft, comfy, inside the waistband holsters. There's one over here. but they're nice and soft. They fit a big variety of different firearms. They just clip on right on the inside, and I do great with these. These are awesome.
And so because you're 19 and you're not an FFL, you can't make a custom holster with somebody's gun.
Right. So to take somebody's gun in overnight, which I would basically have to do in order to make a custom holder, you need a gunsmithing license. I'm not interested in a gunsmithing license.
Right.
But so my goal is either to use a blue gun, a model to make somebody a custom holster, or what really sells well is these ones where you can fit a bunch of different stuff in there.
Universal, yeah, we had talked about that before. Yeah, because I know there's companies online that make the actual fiberglass, or some are plastic.
Oh, the Kydex,
the Kydex ones, yeah. Well, no, the models of the guns.
Oh, so the models, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if somebody wanted a specific molded or something custom fit, that's something you could do. There is a way to do it.
And it's custom, so it's going to cost you a little bit more, especially because I have to buy whatever type of gun you have, that model, unless I already have it. But it's worth looking into, I would say, because it will truly fit and have a nice retention and all of that stuff that people care about.
Now, when you do something like that, how do you get the leather to maintain the shape of that gun? Do you wet it and then let it dry?
Yeah. So like I said before, wet veg tan leather is a lot like clay, where it's very moldable.
It'll stay that way.
So I dunk it in water, let it get nice and thoroughly soaked. And that's after the holster is actually completely made. It's all stitched up and everything. And then I put the firearm or the mold inside, and then I use a bunch of different tools. I have a stick that I found on the shores of Lake Erie that I sanded nice and smooth. I use deer antlers, anything smooth, kind of like a modeling tool. And I use that to press around all of the different lines and shapes in the gun. And then I let it dry, and as it dries, it's going to shrink, which is where you get that nice retention.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. All right. So that's now you're working on videos here, right? We just put a TV up, so you're gonna have
it'll
videos.
be up soon.
Cool. So that people actually get to come to your space here and see you doing what you do.
Exactly.
Which I think will be awesome, because I'm a big fan of like the how it's made things. So it's always interesting to see how people make what they make.
And it's a lot of fun to watch too. Like, I find myself watching people do leather work all the time, even when I probably should be doing it myself.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So on a completely separate note, like we're so happy to have you here, but what brought you here? Like, why did you choose to be a vendor here?
So I had looked into a couple different places. I'm not going to name any of them.
No, you don't have to.
But none of them came through. I actually found out about this place through Charlotte. My younger sisters do take sewing lessons with her. And they chat, because they're girls, and they chat all the time. Oh, my brother does leather work, and he's got a business selling it. And she was like, oh, he should check out Market Street Creatives, because she was in here. I don't know how she found this place, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna look into it. I walked in here one day with the cowboy hat on. I'm sure I made quite the impression.
You stood out.
The rest was history. This place is amazing.
That's awesome. Well, I'm so happy to have you here, and I hope you're happy here.
I love every second of it.
I mean, we're trying. I love the fact that that you're young and you're starting a business, and you're open to ideas, and we have some crazy ideas from time to time. So it's nice to know that. I do that with a lot of the vendors, that we could just sit and say, hey, let's try this, or hey, let's try that. And then, I mean, there was one day that I know Rob, my partner, and I were talking in your space about some stuff, and then 3 hours later you showed up with signs, because you heard us through the camera.
I called out sick from work. I was like, I gotta go make this happen.
That was so funny. I was like, wow, now there's a guy who's really right on top of things with your business. So I appreciate that too, that you're open to that kind of thing, because that's what makes this place fun for us to be here all the time, is we want everybody to get the absolute most they can out of being here.
I mean, I never would have imagined having a TV in here playing video.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. I mean, obviously I'm doing it, but it's not something I would have thought of.
Yeah.
So thank you.
No, of course. Definitely. So when people come and they want to come visit you, for those people who are not watching this on video form, what can they expect to see or find when they come to your space here at Market Street Creatives?
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. My first big three, I would say, are the belts, the purses and the bags and the wallets.
Okay.
Like I said, the gun holsters do great. I always try and have some in here. I'm actually kind of low right now. I put the tack in here. This area has more horse people than you might think.
Yep.
And it also just says, hey, I do this, and it's something different for people to look at. But I try and have a big price range, big variety range. I do dog collars and leashes as well. I have earrings sitting here usually. So I'd like to do all kinds of stuff. Like I said, leather, like there's something you can make out of leather for everybody. And I want to kind of appeal to a lot of different people.
Yeah, that's awesome. So other than here at Market Street Creatives, like how can people find out more about you?
Yeah, my website is heftleatherandsaddlery.com. Heft is H-E-F-T. I have the same handle on Facebook and Instagram. I'm at the Berlin kiosks like we talked about. And then just look for the guy walking around in a cowboy hat.
Yeah, there's not too many of those in Connecticut. So, all right, well, I appreciate it so much for taking the time.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, we love having you here, and you know, we're super proud of everything you're doing, and anything we can ever do to help you out, we're here for you.
Yeah,
so,
just one last thing. I got to shout it out because I'm on camera. I am starting classes. I just did one.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to touch that. You just did one.
Yeah. So I've started doing build your own belt classes, and I plan on doing classes where you can learn tooling. And then I've got a couple different other ideas for different classes, including stuff for the horse people. So
how did the class go today, Bob?
Oh, it was fantastic. It's always so much fun. Yeah.
I can imagine you're a really good teacher. Like I always want when you did the last one, I wanted to sneak in just to kind of listen. But I've got like 500 things to do. But the next one, I'm going to definitely do that.
Yeah. I mean, between teaching horse riding and teaching karate, like I'm a teacher at heart. Really.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, so we will, if you go to our website, marketstreetcreatives.com, and our events, you'll be able to see any of the future classes that you have coming up, and they can sign up for them.
Yeah, I plan on doing 2 or 3 a month. Not all of them are going to be here, but I mean, the majority of them are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate that too. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right.
Awesome.
Bye.
Cool.